Once upon a time, in a quaint village surrounded by lush fields and dense forests, there lived a dog named Bruno. Bruno was a well-fed and loved dog, but he had one flaw: he was extremely greedy. No matter how much food he had, he always wanted more. One day, while wandering around the village in search of something to eat, Bruno's nose led him to the butcher's shop. The butcher was known for his delicious meats, and Bruno's mouth watered at the mere thought of them. As he approached the shop, Bruno noticed that the butcher had left a juicy piece of meat unattended on the counter. Seeing his chance, Bruno stealthily snatched the meat and ran off as fast as he could. Bruno ran through the village and out into the fields, eager to find a quiet place to enjoy his stolen prize. He eventually came across a small bridge that spanned a sparkling stream. Thinking this would be a perfect spot, he trotted onto the bridge, intending to sit and devour his meat in peace. As Bruno crossed the bridge, he glanced down into the clear water below. To his surprise, he saw his reflection. But being a simple and greedy dog, he didn't recognize it as his own reflection. Instead, he thought he saw another dog with a piece of meat that seemed even bigger and juicier than his own. Bruno's greed flared up immediately. He wanted that other piece of meat too. Without thinking, he barked fiercely at the other dog in the water, hoping to scare it away and snatch the bigger piece of meat. But as soon as he opened his mouth to bark, his own piece of meat fell from his jaws and splashed into the stream below. Bruno watched in horror as his meat was carried away by the current, disappearing from sight. He barked and whined, but it was too late. His greed had cost him his meal. Dejected and hungry, Bruno slunk back to the village, his tail between his legs. When he returned, the butcher saw him and, knowing Bruno's greedy nature, shook his head with a smile. "You foolish dog," he said, giving Bruno a small piece of leftover meat out of pity. "Maybe next time you'll be satisfied with what you have." Bruno ate the small piece of meat gratefully, but the lesson had been learned. From that day forward, Bruno remembered the stream and the reflection, and he tried his best to be content with what he had. The moral of the story: greed can lead to loss. It is better to appreciate and be content with what you have than to risk losing it all in the pursuit of more.